Hello there, Star Wars fans, and welcome back to another Rebelscum.com video review. And today we are reviewing the newest clone trooper in the Black Series, the 187th, also known as Windu's Fist, clone trooper. And this is the Phase 2, so we got to see the Phase 1 187th actually quite a bit in Season 1 of the Clone Wars, specifically mostly during the Ryloth story arc. Be cool to get a Pons at some point, even though he died in his Phase 1 gear. Still, I think it'd be cool to get a Commander Pons. What do you think? Would you like a Commander Pons in Black Series? I would like a Commander Pons in Black Series. I would like one more 187th. Now, of course, you know, the 187th canonically on screen is brown, not purple. I know I would much rather it be purple too, especially since purple is my favorite color. Purple is clearly Mace Windu's favorite color, and yeah, purple would have been a much better choice, but unfortunately that was not the final product we got. And it has nothing to do with Hasbro. That's just Star Wars canon on screen in Season 7 of the Clone Wars when we actually see Phase 2 187th during the Siege of Anaxis. This is the armor they're wearing, and they look cool. It's still a cool design. Don't get me wrong. I still like the canonical design of the 187th, but let's face it, the purple clone troopers are way cooler. Now, some of you may say, no, I like the brown better, and, well, I'm happy for you if that's your preference. Congrats, because that's what you got. So, for those of us who like purple, I guess there's the Lego sets and the few 3/4 figures we got years ago. But as far as clone troopers, who knows? Maybe as part of a 20th anniversary Clone Wars, maybe we'll get a purple 187th. I'm not going to hold my breath on it. I kind of doubt it because I know Hasbro's probably got quite a bit up their sleeve, especially for 20th anniversary of Clone Wars. They've already been hitting it hard with 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi stuff. So between 20th anniversary of Clone Wars and 40th Return of the Jedi, there's going to be quite a bit of really cool figures. But enough about that. Let's actually take a look at the trooper now. So here he is. He's looking awesome. He's got his blaster there, just the regular DC-15 carbine there. And then you've got the artwork there of him in the back. Kind of interesting, though. I don't know if anybody else has caught this, but when I was looking at this figure here, the artwork kind of caught me by surprise. What is that you see there in the background? That's right. Yeah, I know. I just did like a Blue's Clues door thing there, but yeah, that's right. That is, your eyes don't deceive you, that is the Phantom 1 from Star Wars Rebels. Now, why, I want to know, is the Phantom shuttle from Star Wars Rebels in the background for the artwork for the Phase 2 187th Battalion clone trooper from Clone Wars? Now, yes, we know they saved Anaxis in Season 7, or at least they seemingly saved Anaxis, at least from Admiral Trench. However, clearly it didn't last that long, right? It didn't stay saved, because in Season 1 of Rebels, when Hera and Sabine go to a former Republic base, they're on the ruins of Anaxis, specifically one of the now asteroid chunks of Anaxis. And of course, that's where that's most likely from. But I find it interesting that Hasbro specifically chose the Phantom for the background of Clone Wars packaging rather than the background of, say, Rebels packaging. You know? See where I'm going with this? Kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. It's cool. The artwork looks good. It's cool, but it's interesting that they chose Rebels artwork for a Clone Wars package. Maybe there's some kind of Easter egg or clue. Maybe that's a wink from Hasbro saying, hey, maybe look forward to some more Rebels stuff. I don't know. I'm only speculating here. I'm just using the information right here in front of me. It could be totally nothing. Someone, you know, in ILM could have just said, hey, I like this artwork, use that. And that's a very likely possibility as well. It could have just simply been just that. Who knows? I don't. But Interesting. It makes you raise your eyebrow a little bit and go, because I certainly did. I certainly did. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the forums. And then, of course, on the back, you've got some words and things with the Clone Trooper, and that's it for the packaging. We talked enough about the packaging. It's time to talk about the new Clone Trooper. Now, of course, the 187th Clone Trooper has been released with the current and new Clone Trooper mold. So he has the single elbow joints, the single knee joints. He's a little bit thinner than the regular Phase 2 Clone Trooper that was initially released in 2015. I also like that the color scheme with this trooper is he's not very clean white. It's more of an off-white, almost a little bit leaning towards a beige in his armor color tone. And for comparison, so you can see how much darker he is, how not very white he is in his armor. There he is next to the other Walgreens exclusive. So this was the 2021 Walgreens exclusive 212th Clone Trooper. And this, of course, is 2022's Walgreens exclusive Clone Trooper. Here he is next to the original mold. This is the Phase 2 501st Clone Trooper. So you can just kind of see not only the two molds side by side, but you can also see the drastic difference in color between the off-white of his armor plating and the bright white of their armor plating, as you can see. Also, for comparison, here he is next to his general, Mace Windu. And I know, yes, I know this is the Tartakovsky one, but that's my favorite Mace. That is easily my favorite Mace. And fun fact, by the way, about this Mace design specifically isn't necessarily non-canon anymore. Now you're probably thinking, well, the Tartakovsky cartoon isn't canon. You're correct. The Tartakovsky cartoon overall, wholesale big picture, is not canon, unfortunately. As awesome as it is and as much as many of us love it, including myself. However, some of the characters, obviously, specifically the debuting characters, shall we say, a lot of the debuting characters and some of the battles that are depicted in the Tartakovsky animated series are canon and have recently been recanonized throughout the Star Wars Marvel comics lately. In the past, well, they've been little by little bringing back some characters and some battles here and there in the past 2 years, I guess. 2 years, year and a half, somewhere in there, give or take a little bit. Because they recently brought back Dirge during the build-up, the prelude to the War of the Bounty Hunters, which was really cool. Although, also, well, it was really cool that they brought him back, but it was underwhelming a little bit. More on that whenever we get a new Dirge figure or something, or we're actually talking about Dirge. And there... But specifically, some of the battles, and why I say this design might actually be canon now, is because in the recent Obi-Wan mini-series that they just did, Obi-Wan is reflecting, just spoiler alert, Obi-Wan is reflecting on his life while he's in Tatooine, writing in his journal, talking about past events and current events too a little bit. And in one of the issues, he's talking about the earlier years of the Clone Wars, and he cites specific battles that take place during these early years. One of those battles specifically is the battle on Dantooine, which of course was in the Tartakovsky Clone Wars series, where Mace Windu was fighting in the fields of Dantooine with the giant separatist prototype mass driver earthquake making machine, which that was really cool. And what was he wearing in that? So, while whole picture Tartakovsky's not canon, characters, concepts, and some of the battles that take place, and that was just one of the battles that was recanonized and named in that comic, by the way, are canon still, which I think is really cool. It's a nice little subtle way to bring back some of the pieces that can fit in our current puzzle, and, you know, which kind of appeases to fans on both ends of the spectrum, you know, because there's some fans who are like, only Legends is canon, and then there's some fans who are like, nope, only canon is canon. Legends is Legends. Get it out of here. It's not real anymore. And Star Wars is Star Wars. We love Star Wars here. We all love it. You know, I love all Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars guy. I love Star Wars. So, all right. So enough about all that other stuff. Here is the figure in closer detail. You can see those awesome paint details there. Honestly, this guy has better paint details than the 212th Walgreens exclusive we got. He's got that gray bar painted there. His vents on the side are painted. He actually has full 187th paint apps on the back of his helmet and on the top of his helmet, whereas if you recall, one of the issues when we reviewed this figure was the back of his head's not painted. What the heck? What the heck, Hasbro? What happened here? So yeah, that was one of the issues with that guy right there. He's got these two awesome stripes that go up his chest and then down to the middle of his back and come together up in the upper half of his back. He's got these cool little stripes on his arms. He's got these cool stripes on his legs. I like how there's this little break apart thing on the back of the thigh in the paint app. I think that's kind of neat. He is, of course, fully articulated. He has the same exact articulation as the other clone troopers that have been released in this mold, but just to refresh, head is on a ball joint, neck is on a ball joint in the torso, fully articulated shoulders with soft rubbery shoulder pads there, single jointed elbow joints, wrist joints, upper waist, hips, upper thigh, single jointed knees, single jointed ankles, and that's pretty much it for articulation. And then of course here he is with his blaster. Another awesome clone trooper to add to the ranks. And then of course here he is once again with some of the other troopers you can get. Now of course there's definitely a lot more than these that have been released throughout the Black Series line. We've got regular Phase 2, we've got 442nd, Coruscant, 13th, 332nd, unless I already said that already, and more. There's other clone troopers. There's definitely more clone troopers, especially in Phase 2 in the Black Series line, which is very cool. Oh, and then in case someone's wondering, this is not a custom rotary cannon for the Black Series, for my Black Series clone trooper here. This is actually the missile firing rotary cannon from the 3¾ scale Clone Wars line. I found that it's actually a lot closer to scale with 6-inch figures than it is with the 3¾ scale figures, because it should actually be quite a bit smaller than this for 3¾ scale. And yeah, I think it looks really cool in his hand. So in case somebody's commenting or like, hey, where did he get that rotary cannon? I got it in the from one of the 3¾ scale Clone Wars figures. That's where I got it. Which, it's a very common weapon that was released a lot of times throughout the 3¾ scale Clone Wars line. So if you're trying to get a few for your Black Series figures, it shouldn't be too hard, I don't think. It shouldn't be too difficult. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's review featuring Walgreens exclusive, the 187th Phase 2 Clone Trooper here. Stay tuned for more Rebelscum.com video reviews. Stay tuned for more Black Series reviews. Heck, stay tuned for more clone reviews, because there are more clones coming, especially for the 20th anniversary of the Clone Wars once again. Make sure you like and subscribe, follow us on social media, and check Rebelscum.com every single day, because there's always something new daily on Rebelscum.com. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. May the Force be with all of you, you Rebel Scum.